everyone, this is Neha Sharma here once again with you from SCAM Public School. So dear students, today in this video we are going to start a new topic and the name of the topic is direct and indirect speech. So as you know students, when we want to talk to someone, the speech is very necessary thing. This is also known as the communication. So when we communicate to our friends, our relatives, our father, mother, sister, so that is known as speech. So your speech should be refined. You should work on your speech a lot. Now when we talk about speech, so that speech can be of two kinds. One is direct speech and second one is indirect speech. Okay, so what we understood, the meaning of speech is when we communicate something with someone. So that is known as speech. Our dialogues with someone, when we give the message to someone, that is known as speech. So for a speech, what are the necessary things? What are the things we can say which are involved in speech? So one is speaker, second is the message he or she is speaking or talking about, and the third thing is the receiver. Now when we talk about the receiver may be 1, 2, 3, 4, many. Okay, so what are the three things which are required for a speech? The speaker, the message and the receiver, right? Now let's understand what a speech is through this definition which I have written here. So speech, it is used to communicate with others. Every communication or every speech requires or involves one sender, one message and one recipient. So recipient here, a word which I have written here, which means a receiver. Okay, suppose I am talking to my friend Shyam, so I am speaker. Who is speaker? I am speaker here, and who is the receiver? Receiver is Shyam. Okay, and whatever the thing, suppose I am talking to him, I said to Shyam, I am teaching direct and indirect speech. So I is speaker here, message is I am teaching direct and indirect speech, and who is the receiver who got that? That is Shyam, right? So these three things should be clear to you. Now, as I've told you, the speech can be divided into two parts. One is direct speech and the second one is indirect speech. So dear students, I just told you that I said to my friend Shyam, I am teaching direct and indirect speech. Okay, so this is known as direct speech. So whenever I will write down this, I said to my friend Shyam, I am teaching direct speech. The dialogue I am teaching is the message which I am conveying to my friend Shyam, right? And I is who? I is speaker here. Who is the receiver? Shyam is receiving that message, right? So whenever I will write down this, I am teaching direct and indirect speech, that sentence will be enclosed in the commas or the quotation marks which we can see. Like in your science or in your economics, etc., you used to write down, you used to learn the definitions, okay, which are given by the educationists or sometimes the psychologists, okay, or some great people, right? So some sayings which we said the quotations. So those quotations we always keep within the commas, within the inverted commas. So that actually is direct speech, where we do not change any of the word. Okay, so as it is we have to present that is known as direct speech without any change, right? And the second thing is indirect. So suppose I said to my friend Shyam that I am teaching direct and indirect speech. Okay, that is the direct dialogue, that is the direct communication. But when when Shyam will go to some another person or the third person, so he will speak the dialogue. He will give that message that Neha was speaking, that she was teaching direct and indirect speech, right? So that is what the second person was Shyam here. He gave my message to the third person and he said that Neha was saying, or Neha said that she was teaching direct and indirect speech. Now let's understand this direct speech and indirect speech with the help of examples. So here you can see two friends. The name of this boy is Rohan and the another boy is, you may say, Mohan. Okay. So one day what happened? Rohan and Mohan met. And Mohan said to Rohan, because he was missing school for many days. So Mohan said to Rohan, when Rohan asked that why you are absent regularly, right? So Mohan said him that I am ill, so therefore I am not coming to school. So what is the dialogue of Mohan here? You can see this Mohan's dialogue is, I am ill, or I am sick, whatever you want to do here, okay? I am ill. So he said, okay, take care, okay, and have medicine regularly and all that. Now, one day, after 2-3 days, or you can say the next day, Rohan met to his friend, who was a common friend of Mohan and Rohan. So the name of that friend is, you can see, Reena. Okay, so Rohan met Reena and he said that because they were worried about their friend Mohan, so he said to Reena that I met to Rohan and he said that he was ill. So what he said here, the dialogue of Rohan is that he was ill. Okay, so this is the dialogue of who's? Rohan. Clear? Now what you guess here, that when Mohan said that I am ill, so this you have written within the commas, within the inverted commas, and when Rohan said this to third person Reena, so he is not using any inverted commas or the quotation marks here. So what is this? This was direct speech and this was indirect speech. So we learned here the very important thing is that this direct speech is written always in the quotation marks, or the another name of that is inverted commas. And when the second person Rohan is transferring this dialogue to the third person Reena, he is not using these inverted commas here, because here he is using what? Indirect speech. Clear? So this is about direct speech and indirect speech. Now let's do this with the help of a dialogue, right? That how this can be changed. So let's write down. So first is Mohan said, commas, or you can say Mohan said to Rohan, commas, I am ill, full stop, commas close. So this is what exact words of Mohan, right? Now when this Rohan will tell this to Reena, so he will say Mohan said to, changed into told Rohan that he was ill. Now you can change, you can notice a change here, that what is the sentence he used in this direct speech and what is in indirect speech. Here the direct speech is written within the whatever the dialogue, whatever the message is, that message is written inside the quotation marks. But when Mohan told this to third person Reena, so he said Mohan told Rohan that he was ill. Okay, so this is something like that. So I hope you understood this with the help of examples, that what is direct speech and what is indirect speech. Now 2-3 more things we have to learn about this direct speech and indirect speech. So let's see what is that. Here you noticed that at the place of said to, the said to was there. At the place of said to, I changed here told, right? This is what commas here. So this comma I changed with that. So why this happens? Let's understand this also. But before that, take the screenshot of this direct speech and indirect speech, and we will do this with the help of more examples, and we will learn that why there is a change, okay, and what are the different rules to remove commas. When we have to remove commas, what we have to use instead of commas, you know, at the place of commas, what we have to use. So let's understand that. But before that, take a screenshot and note it down. Dear students, we have to learn something more about this direct and indirect speech. So dear students, as we have done here, Mohan said to Rohan, I am ill. So this sentence is divided into two parts, you have seen here. So right now I am just removing the answer of this question, and I will tell you something about the reported clause, the reported verb and the reported speech. Okay, so this Mohan said to Rohan, this part which is outside the commas, okay, which is outside the inverted commas or the quotation marks, this is known as reported clause. This is known as reported clause. Okay, and the second part of the sentence which is within the commas, okay, which is in the dialogue which is enclosed in the commas, that is known as reported speech. Whatever the message is, okay, whatever the statement written within the commas, that is known as reported speech. Now this reported clause is having one more thing hidden within this, that is what? This said to. So this said to, okay, or said or commanded, something you know, think is there, commanded is there, asked is there. So this is known as reported verb. This is known as reported verb. Okay, so the main part which is outside the commas, that is known as reported clause, or this is having reporting verb within this. So that is what? Said, said to, informed, think, commands, something like that. And the portion which is inside the commas, that is known as reported speech. Okay, so this was very important, because when we will do the rules of this reported speech, so this will be very important, that if the reported speech or the reporting verb in this way, so what we have to do. Okay, this reported clause, actually the books which you are taking help of the books, so this reported clause is not written there, but this is what, this complete you know, the part of the sentence, this is known as reported clause, and it is reported verb which is said, says, will say, commands, thinks. So that is known as reported verb. In your books it may happen that the rules are given with this word reported verb only. Okay, so that is, there's no need of you know, much worries. So that is what? Reported verb. Okay, so we will take this as reported verb. So we have to check here that it is written said here, says here, will say here, or some question is there, you know, or think is there. It may happen sometime that think is also given, thinks is also given. So this is known as reported verb. Okay, so this is all about the introduction of direct and indirect speech. In our next video we will meet with rules, how to solve the direct speeches into indirect speeches. Okay, so till then, please learn all the things what we have discussed today and note them in your notebook. Thank you very much. Stay healthy, stay safe.